So a lot of photographers have camper vans, and I get it. They're maneuverable. You can take them just about anywhere, and you can wake up wherever you're taking your pictures. I kind of want one. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's in my future. We'll see. But for now, when I travel, and usually it's with my family, I like having space and I like being at the location where I'm going to take pictures. And a lot of times those locations are like state parks and other beautiful natural areas. And so we use this monstrosity. And if you've never been in one of those before, I'm about to show you what it's like inside. So this isn't the fanciest motorhome you've ever seen, but it's comfortable. It's been quite reliable for us. We've taken it all over the country, up into Canada, through Maine, all through the mountains, and it is like a second home for us. This weekend, we're going to do a little camping trip up into the southern Appalachians, and I'm excited to just kind of take you all along with us, show you what it's like to live, eat, and play out of one of these, and also take some photos in the process. So the inside of the motorhome is pretty spacious. The slides come out, allow for space in the kitchen, which has everything you kind of need. There's no oven, but everything else. There's actually a washer and dryer, which comes in handy sometimes, although it can't handle a whole lot. There's a residential fridge, which is great when we're on the road a long time. And as you can see, we've been all over the place, thousands and thousands of miles. There's a bathroom for the boys, which is good. They have their own space. And then our bedroom, we've got a queen bed that fits pretty well, and a shower, which is wonderful at the end of the day. And, of course, a toilet and a little TV there as well. But it works quite well for us. So I've taken a lot of photographs here. This is one of our favorite places to camp, and so I've been here at sunset, sunrise, seen it in various seasons. It's a gorgeous location. I'm out here scouting today. Maybe this evening I'll come back to take some photos. If not, tomorrow morning. The weather's looking kind of iffy, really rainy. For a family vacation, that's not good. For photography, I don't mind. So no matter what, unless it's a downpour, I'll be back to this area to take some photos. I'm looking right here now. There's actually another photographer here, which is rare because not many people know about this place. But I'm looking in this area to find a composition and a leading line and to photograph it differently than I have in the past. That's always my challenge to myself, is to find new compositions and not just shoot the same thing again with the changing seasons. And so I see a couple of distinct possibilities that will lead you up to the falls, your eye in the photo, and then also help you start to bring in some of that fall color that is starting to emerge here. And I love this spot. It's beautiful no matter what time of the year. I can't wait to return with my equipment later today or tomorrow. All right, so I just got back from photographing a waterfall and it was beautiful and it's a massive waterfall. I think I actually got some good shots, but it was terrible conditions, especially when you're hiking with little kids because it was pouring rain on us, slippery. I couldn't even get the camera out most of the time because it was raining so hard. I didn't even remember this camera until we got back to the car because I left it and realized it about half the hike in. But anyway, you'll see the photo here in just a second. I shot a little footage with my main camera just so y'all could see the beauty of the fall. But it is poor conditions right now for anything but waterfall and woodland photography. It's real foggy, it's real rainy, it's very atmospheric. There's a little bit of fog at the waterfall as well. So I'm gonna be happy, I think, with the image. It looked really good on my screen, and here it is. These turned out pretty well. I like this first image quite a bit. The waterfall was just enormous. It was flowing quite well from the rains. And there was color that was starting to kind of shine through, a bit of orange and yellow. And I think it just kind of accented the area well. But I like this one the most. It was real foggy and it was just kind of rolling in and out on top of the falls. And it created this wonderful atmosphere, and I really like how it came out. And that one yellow leaf sat there just long enough, and I didn't place it either. So we're back to the campground, and I'm going to this spot that I found yesterday that I'm hoping will still be good. There were these rocks that were exposed in the water that were leading to a waterfall. Tons of potential. I think it could be a really beautiful, different composition than I've ever done here before, but it has rained like crazy today as well as last night, so the water levels everywhere are up a fair amount, and so I'm not sure if those rocks are still exposed. There's a decent chance that they're now underwater, so I'm going to lose my foreground if that's the case, but I'm going to walk over there right now and check it out. It's not too far from the campsite, so here we go. Yeah, so I was afraid this would happen. The water level is high now. All of these stones and rocks from yesterday have disappeared. And so I've lost the foreground I wanted. I'm still gonna shoot it. I'm gonna try to kind of get the water rushing towards the lens. There's some decent fall color happening and flat light. So it's okay, but I should have come back yesterday evening before the rains came. I didn't. And so I kind of missed out, which is unfortunate, but lesson learned. Next time I come and the water's low, I'll know what to look for. I really didn't like any of the shots that I got of the water. It just wasn't a very impactful composition, but I noticed this tree across the way and it had already really bloomed and it dropped real colorful leaves on the rocks at the base. And I kind of like how this one turned out. Good morning, everybody. Well, after we visited that waterfall yesterday, I didn't get much more footage. Honestly, things kind of went downhill from there. We got back and something had shorted out in the motorhome, something in the 12-volt system. I think it was one of the plates and one of the batteries. And so it took out the batteries, it took out the converter. We had to get somebody to come out and get us up and running again. And so that took some time. In the meantime, Tennessee was losing to Georgia in football, which was kind of tough. And then it must have dumped 8 inches of rain, or perhaps more, throughout last night and overnight to this morning. So the good news is things are clearing off, and this could be a pretty day. I might be able to get some photographs. The bad news is everything is just soaking wet, and all of the creeks and rivers are swollen. So it's going to change what I can take pictures of because they have no texture, they have no interest, they are just massive, swollen, raging torrents of water. And so it's going to create a challenge, but I'm always up for a challenge. But anyway, welcome. This is one of my favorite parts of camping. I always make a cup of coffee, go outside, walk around, and appreciate the beauty of nature. And the nice thing about campgrounds is you're usually surrounded by nature. Well, as you can see, one of my favorite waterfalls here in the park is a big, muddy, soupy mess. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. This might become a fall foliage woodlands photography session today, because that is not the most attractive thing that I've seen on this trip. So how much did it rain last night? It rained so much that this trail has become a creek. This is literally the hiking trail to the waterfall. Glad I have sandals. After those torrential rains, I was really more limited with what I could photograph. I do think this one came out pretty well. I had to kind of tweak it some to remove some of the muddy look from the water because it was pretty brown. But I do like that one tree that's starting to turn colors. I think it kind of makes the shot. And then when we were leaving the area, I saw this one tree across the field, and it was green, and I loved the way it was shaped, and it contrasted so nicely against all of the orange trees behind it. And so I grabbed this one as well. Overall, it was a successful trip. I got a lot of photos that I like, especially the waterfalls. South Carolina is just underrated when it comes to the quality and quantity of waterfalls that can be found in the Appalachian Mountains. So I do feel like I came away with a variety of images that I'm happy with, especially considering the conditions that we were faced with most of the time. I hope you enjoyed this video and tag it along with me for my trip to the mountains. If you like this content, if you like this channel, please subscribe to it, like the video, leave a comment. It helps us grow, and we would really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.